welcome to Great Things Tampa Bay, the podcast about great eats, great places, and great people in the greater Tampa Bay area. I'm your host, Kyle Sasser from Tampa Bay. I'm a realtor and all-around good bloke. This is episode 6, Rapid Fire, and I'd like to thank you for inviting me along on your commute to work, or maybe you're mowing the grass and thinking about what you would like to do with the rest of your day, and so you're giving this a listen to find out all the cool stuff that's going on in the area, and for that I thank you. I'd like to invite you to come talk to me on social media. Just go to our website, Great Things TV, that's GreatThingsTV.com, and click on the Get Social link up at the top, and there you'll find links to all of our social profiles. You can go there, give us all the likes, shares, comments, pros, cons, what you like, what you don't like, and all that good stuff. Please go there and let me know. Segment 1, Rapid Fire. So I thought I would do this a little bit different than the other previous episodes. You know, kind of get in a rut, and if it's one things I don't like, it is a rut. So I'm trying to shake things up a little bit. So our previous episodes have basically gone like, review a restaurant, then some personal stuff, and then, end off with something fun. And this time I thought we would do something a little different where I would just cover a wide variety of things to do in Tampa Bay. And some of these are restaurants, some of these are places to go, some of these are parks. And, you can just kind of pick and choose if there's something that interests you. I'm going to put what links I can on the show notes, so you can go there for more information on our website, GreatThingsTV.com. Probably going to be covering a few of these in more detail in later episodes. But I thought it would be nice just to cover, a lot of these, instead of having to wait for subsequent episodes to come out. So without further ado, and I'm just going to go kind of quick through these. You might hear me shuffling papers here and there, but basically I'm going to read it off, maybe give a quick blurb if I've been there or if I had any thoughts on it. And, then just mosey on along. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on any one of these, but as I said, I'm probably going to be covering some of these in later episodes, so please subscribe. So, over in Tampa, we have the Oxford Exchange. That's downtown by the University of Tampa. It's a really cool building there. They have like a restaurant, bookstore, coffee house. The place is absolutely awesome, and it's definitely worth a trip. Arcades. There are some arcades around. The Lowry Parkade and Tavern, which is pretty cool. And then there's another replay museum up in Tarpon Springs. Personally, I really want to go to these. Supposedly, the Replay Museum in Tarpon Springs is a museum of over 100 pinball games, video games from the past. An old arcade rat like myself. That kind of gets me excited. Next up is the Sponge Docks in Tarpon Springs. Surprisingly, I have lived here my entire life. I have never been. My lovely wife's brother has invited us on a couple occasions, and we just haven't made it up there yet. I don't know what they have. I don't know if it's just like people selling bins of sponges or if there's whatever. But yeah, definitely a cool place to go from my understanding, but I have not been yet. Next up, we have the various markets that go on around both in St. Pete and Tampa, specifically the Saturday morning market in downtown St. Petersburg. Typically, that's down by the Rowdy Stadium. And then over in Tampa, they have the Hyde Park Village Market, which happens on the first Sunday of each month. And the Hyde Park one is really cool because they shut down the entire street and it's very festive. So there's music going on, there's people milling around, there's all sorts of vendors and cool stuff to see. The St. Petersburg one is awesome as well. And that one happens pretty much every weekend. And, they have, cool vendors. I bought a hat there once, which was pretty sweet. I finally found it's a straw hat, but it's not of the hayseed variety. So it's one of the more stylish, like going to the horse races hats. And they have other cool things there, headbands and, the normal crafts and knickknacks. They also have exquisite local produce and cheeses, things of that nature. So definitely worth it. It's definitely a good way to spend half of a day or a quarter of a day. And in that same vein, we also have the first Fridays in St. Petersburg and then the fourth Friday in Tampa. And I'm not sure what it is with Fridays and festivities, but for some reason we really love it in this area. So first Friday in St. Petersburg, and then fourth Friday over in Tampa. You go there, it's more of an adult sort of thing. I wouldn't really put that for kids, but it's fun stuff. The one in Tampa is a little interesting because they do also do free admission to many of the museums down there, so a little added bonus there. Next up, we have the Manatee Viewing Center, which is down over in Apollo Beach. The big old power station there, Big Bend Power Station there. There's a platform. You can go and view the manatees there. That usually is a little more of a wintertime sort of thing. The manatees nowadays are kind of out and about doing their thing. But once the chill gets in the air and the water temperatures go down, the manatees come up into the local rivers, springs, and over by the power plant, that's where they discharge the water over there. So it's a little warmer. The manatees like to go there. I would save that one more towards, let's say, November. Camping. So if you like camping, there's a bunch of great places to go around here. Just ones off the top of my head, we got Hillsborough River State Park, which is cool. So the interesting thing about the Hillsborough River State Park, two things that I know. One is that the Spanish, whenever they came into Tampa Bay, when they put the little boats in the water and they went up the river, that was pretty much as far north as they got. They couldn't make it past. There's actually a cascade of rapids there, and that's how far they made it. The other interesting thing was that the tannic waters of the Hillsborough River, which has kind of that brown tint to it, was actually highly prized to make tea with by the English, from my understanding. So they would actually barrel the stuff up and ship the stuff back to Jolly Ole and brew up some Earl Grey hot. I'm not sure if I would recommend doing that currently, but just kind of a historical thing. Other cool places, Lithia Springs, which is out south of Brandon, one of the largest springs in the area. It's a great place to go swim. You can canoe down the river there as well. Over here in Pinellas County, we have Fort DeSoto, which is a great local gym. It's a little tough to get in there on short notice. However, a little bird has told me that they do cancellations. So if you check the week of kind of early morning, say like 9 to 10 o'clock, sometimes you'll luck out and a spot will have opened up. And then if you want to head a little bit further north, there's the Chassahowitzka, which is a really cool place. My wife and I went there last year. A bunch of springs to view and swim in, and it's on a real pretty spring run. And to get there, it's basically you take the Suncoast Parkway all the way north until it ends, and then you head left. And that's pretty much where it's at. Those are kind of my favorite local camping spots. I'm sure there's more, so if you know any, please let me know. We have Lettuce Lake Park, which is up by USF. It's a real nice local park with some boardwalks. Viewing tower. You can see some pretty interesting things there on occasion. Tampa Theater, which I'm sure is pretty obvious, but if you've never been there, it's definitely worth a trip. Pretty cool. It's one of the original, Mediterranean old-timey theaters. The chairs aren't particularly comfortable. I mean, it's not a, super IMAX with all the cup holders and the rumble seats and all that stuff, but it's a great place to see a show, or an even better place to see a concert. If someone you happen to like is going to be playing there, I would definitely recommend going and checking it out. They also offer tours. I know they upgraded the electrics recently. One of my favorite parts was always seeing the old electrics, like the electrical breakers out of cartoons, where it's like the knife edge where they came down and all the sparks. Fun stuff. So next up is the Thai Temple, which is the Buddhist place down on Palm River Road. It's a little to the east of IKEA, and then on the south side of the Palm River there. They do a tremendous Sunday morning market there. Great food. I believe that is from 8:30 to 2:30 every day, but I would recommend getting there early. Sometimes the food runs out and all that, but everything is authentic and delicious. They also have a great selection of plants, orchids, and all that good stuff. Definitely worth the trip there. And, you don't have to be Buddhist to go there. They welcome all types. Next, we have Edison, which is one of my favorite restaurants over in Tampa Bay. They have a real unique take on every one of their dishes. Definitely recommend that. Also recommend checking out a Rowdies game. Even if you're not a tremendous soccer fan, it's definitely worth going to the game just for the atmosphere. People jumping, dancing around. There's a whole section of the stadium there that's called Rouse Mobs. And, if you're part of that, thank you for the liveliness that you bring to the games. But basically, there's this whole section of the stands there, and they jump around, beat on drums, sing songs for the entire length of the game. It brings a lot of energy that's missing from Bucks games or the baseball games, so definitely go and check it out. As a bonus, tickets are relatively inexpensive. They're $25 a piece if you buy like 2 or 3 at a time. Definitely check it out. A couple other fun things to do would be to canoe the Hillsborough River or Lithia, which I kind of mentioned earlier. Pretty much like a half-day ordeal. And it can be an ordeal depending upon what the weather and how the mosquitoes are doing. So you definitely want to call the canoe company and make sure that everything's good. A lot of times if we don't have a lot of rain, especially on the Lithia River, you'll have to get out and push the canoe or pull it over rocks, and it gets a little tiring. Bonus point for Lithia River though is that you can find shark's teeth there if you happen to know where to look. So always be nice and ask your canoe provider where the best place to look for shark's teeth would be. Hillsborough River is a little more quiet, a little more serene. It's not as hectic as the Lithia River is. The Lithia is usually a little bit busier. Definitely a lot more alligators on the Hillsborough River. Once you get past Morris Bridge there, the mosquitoes can get dense. So be sure to pack your bug repellent. A few other good restaurants I'll just rattle off here. Sea Critters out on Paso Grill. Absolutely delicious. Give it a try. That's absolutely delicious. Can't recommend the chicken and waffles enough. Restaurant BT, which is also right over there, has some of the absolute best Vietnamese French fusion in the area that I've had. Yeah, I think that's enough of my spots. That should give you enough coverage to where you can pick something out of there that you like. Just pick one of them and go do it. Even if it's just, for a half day, maybe walking around the local park or something. So I'm going to put links to some of this on our show notes on our website. I'm not going to do all of them just because that would be insane. But if you have any questions on all of these, again, just go to the Get Social link. Hit me up. I'll be happy to answer any questions you have. Segment 2, house cleaning. As promised, we were having a contest. You tell me your favorite burrito in the area, and you have a chance to win a $25 gift card to Red Mesa. I have to tell you that I was a little disappointed with the contest entries and turnouts. I had a total of 4 entries. So if you would have entered this contest, you would have had a 20% chance of winning. But a promise is a promise, and I would like to congratulate Ellen Stanford, who recommended the Burrito Bomb at Burrito Border, and it is delicious. I actually went and tried this. Like I said, I only had 4 burritos to try, just from the entries. So I did actually try this Burrito Bomb at Burrito Border, which is a local taco / burrito place in downtown St. Pete there, next to Lucky Dill, although Lucky Dill is something's happening there soon, I believe, but it's, I want to say Central and 2nd. But if you are in that area, it's an absolute great place to stop by and get your taco fix. So, Ellen, congratulations. I will be sending you a email just to get your information so I can mail that out to you. Segment 3, let's get personal. So, we've been through 5 episodes here of Great Things Tampa Bay. I kind of powered through the first 5. I did 1 by itself, and then I did another 2, and then I knocked out 2 again. I just kind of took a break for a month. And, just kind of thinking about things, giving it some thought to see what was working, what wasn't working, what is interesting to y'all, like what y'all are actually tuning in for. So, I'm going to be trying a couple different things over the next few episodes. You heard the earlier part of this episode, we had the rapid fire section. So, I have a couple fun ideas. I'm always looking to try out things. Like I said, if you do the same thing over and over and over, you get burnout. I definitely want to keep this fun and entertaining for y'all. I mean, y'all don't tune into this to be bored out of your minds. So I try to spice it up a little bit, try to keep your interest, try to bring something a little bit new to you each time. Real estate market is going nuts, as I'm sure many of you have noticed. Median prices in the county are up like 11%. So if you've been thinking about selling, now's a great time. My number is 727-300-2111. And with that, I think we will wrap up this episode. Just to give you a little heads up on what's coming up, I do have an interview booked with Salvatore, the Butterfly Man, and that should be pretty interesting. If you remember the episode from Paso Grill, which I believe was episode 2, might have been episode 3, we met this guy and bought a art piece from him. What he does is he takes butterflies from around the world, and he doesn't murder them. He arranges them into art installations inside of like a clear plexiglass box, from a singular butterfly to a whole arrangement of them. He's a really, really interesting guy, so I'm excited to be having that interview with him this week. What else has been going on personally? The dog's doing okay. She's a whopping, I think, like 6.5 pounds now. Been taking on her own walks down to the bay, and doing a little obedience training and all that good stuff. So that's a lot of fun. If you haven't shared Great Things Tampa Bay with your friends and family yet, all you have to do is go to our website, greatthingsTB.com. That's greatthingsTB.com. We're also on YouTube now, so if somebody is not able to figure out the podcast thing, you can just send them a link to us on YouTube and they can listen to all of the episodes that way. If you're looking for your own great place in Tampa Bay, please give me a call at 727-300-2111. I definitely have a passion for real estate as well as great things in Tampa Bay, so I would love to talk to you and help you out with that. Or maybe you just want to tell us how awesome or how horrible we are. You can also do that at our website, greatthingstb.com. That's greatthingstb.com. And click on the Get Social link at the top of the page, and there you can go and stalk us on all of our social profiles. You can also find show notes, recaps, transcripts, and contests, greatthingstb.com. So please subscribe to us on iTunes and also on Google Play if that's your things. That way you can find out the best butterflies in Balm are. So I would also like to thank Dave, who was kind enough to send me a testimonial. The sentiment that he expressed in the testimonial was heartfelt, so I thought I would share it with you. If you'd like to send me your own testimonials, easiest way is probably just to record a voice memo on your phone and then text it to me. You can text it to 727-300-2111. If this starts becoming a thing, I will probably just set up a phone number that y'all can call and leave messages. You won't have to speak directly to me. Sometimes it can get a little weird when people saying nice things to you. I have difficulty accepting a compliment. But anything you think you want me to know, just record it and send it on over. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.
So I've listened to all of the episodes, and I really like it. I find that I'm learning things each episode about the Bay Area, and it's kind of refreshing to hear one man's journey through an area that doesn't have all too many locals. So I like it. I'm gonna keep learning. I really liked the interview that was broken up over 2 parts. I think that would be something I would personally like to hear more of, is getting another person's story. And good job. Keep it up. Keep up the good work, man.